Hello, I'm going to do a walkthrough on my Microsoft Azure portal. So the idea on this video is to show the infrastructure for my project, which is consist in a complete cloud infrastructure for a server, Windows server, and many Windows client. So here I have create two virtual machines. So one will be my Windows Server 2019, and I will I will turn this Windows Server into a domain controller, and then I will be able to join many clients into this server one. So for now, I just have like a server and client configuration, and this is the two virtual machines that I have right now. I also have created a different server for a database, so which will join into my infrastructure as well. So for my servers, I will have one Windows server and one database server. Okay. So for the resources here, I have, besides the virtual machines and database, I have a virtual network. So for this virtual network, which I will store my infrastructure, I have configured two different subnets. So I will have one subnet in this IP address for servers and a different one for my clients. In this way, I can have two different VLANs or virtual networks extremely separate for servers and for clients. And on this way, I can define my firewall rules for each environment differently. So I can, for example, on my servers, I have all connections open, but I cannot open all the ports on the firewall, so I can close most of the ports that I know that is not necessary. And I can allow only connections from my IP address, which is from my clients. Otherwise, I can block any other connections. For address, so I will use this subnet, so 192.168.0.0/23, which will have 500 address, and then I can split in these two subnets here. Okay, on my subnets for security, I create two different network group policies. Sorry. Okay, I have one server group policy for the servers, which I allow only the RDP connections on the 3389 port, the HTTP and HTTPS is allowed. And I also have open the 1433 for database, which I will have access only for my private network. Any other connection outside of this specific virtual network will be denied. Same for the client subnet. So I allow only connections for the RDP on 3389. Otherwise, I will block. So with this, I covered so the virtual machines, the firewall rules, database server, my virtual networks. I also, for the server machines, I have configured network. I have a public IP address and also a private network. So both IP address is static, so both public and private is static, so they will not change. And in the future, so I will disable the public IP address, and then I will set up a VPN peer-to-site, which I will connect through the private network using this VPN connection, but it will be the second phase of the project. Okay, so with this, I have the network for the servers. For the client, I have the same approach. So the client also has the public IP address and private IP address. So as I mentioned, both are static, so they will not change. I can configure it on the network interface, for example. I can disable or I can disable the static configuration, so which I can associate a different IP address anytime that I shut down or start the connection. So many times. Okay, let me see. Okay, what is next? Okay, so for my server, I have multiple disks. So I have the first disk for the operation system and etc., softwares, etc. And I have created extra 4 different drives, which I will create RAID 10, with 2 RAIDs will be used for one, and the other set of drivers will be for the other one, and then I will bind those two RAIDs 1, creating a RAID 10. So this server machine, I have set up a backup. So for this backup, I have a policy, and this is a daily policy, which they will perform a backup daily, as you can see here. So, and also the backup, I have a disaster recovery plan, which I can recover this machine anytime that I want. So I have my site recovery configured right here, and I can define my virtual machines that I want to add on this backup and recovery plan. And as soon as I have these virtual machines crash, for example, I can start those virtual machines in a different location. So my virtual machine is created in the East US, and my recovery is in West. So anytime that I want to do a failover test, so I can disable one and enable the other one. So and everything will run smoothly and transparent for my clients. So, okay, that's all that I have for covering the infrastructure. So this will cover all the part of the installation, sizing and definition for my server and the entire deployment plan. So